Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the crystal readings time. How is everyone doing? I hope all is well. And if it is not well at the moment, I hope that the crystals can help you find solutions to whatever problems you are facing. As you join, feel free to share this out. And as usual, I'm going to pull out one card as a general reading for everyone who is watching now on the live stream. And feel free to type into the chat if you would like a reading. With one card for general aspects of the situation you may find yourself in at the moment. With 3 cards for past, present, and future, and with 4 cards either for a situation or a relationship. The 1 card general reading is free. And for the other types, feel free to tip or make a small donation. Using PayPal. So let's see what the general card for everyone here is for today. And that is the turquoise. The coins in this deck represent the material world and the earth element. So let's see what turquoise says. This symbol of the sea gives us purity of thought and thus leads us to greater wisdom. Turquoise promotes creativity, the power of imagination, and the understanding of nature. Its rich coloring shows us the abundance and beauty of nature, allowing an awareness of success and the joy of living to grow within us. The tarot interpretation of this card is profit, financial success, growth, satisfaction, abundance, circumspection, optimistic outlook, and security. The shadow aspects are danger, fraud, castles in the air, and insecurity. It can also be looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. The turquoise is also a great crystal to use for communication, for the throat chakra. So if you have trouble expressing yourself, it is good to use turquoise, and you can wear it as a pendant, or for the ladies as earrings, and you can also wear it as a ring or in your pocket if that is what suits you best. And while you type into the chat your requests for readings, I'm going to pull out 3 cards for the past, present, and future situation in the world. And when you type your request into the chat, think about a question that you would like answered. You can also write it into the chat if you wish. If not, it is okay. You can keep it for yourself. But it shouldn't be a question which can be answered with a yes or no, but rather in one of these forms. What will happen if, should I, or what is the next step? So let's see what was, is, and will be the situation in the world. As a general situation. And the first card we have the water Tourmaline, which, funny enough, is the world in this deck. Let's see, the second card is the Amazonite. I will tell you in a moment what swords mean in this deck. And this one represents the present, the Amazonite. And Chrysocolla we have for this future situation. So let's see. The swords in this deck represent the mind and the air element, while the coins, as I already said, for the Turquoise represent the material world and the earth element. Interesting combination. Material world, mind, air element and earth element, as well as the world. So let's see the first one, the watermelon tourmaline for the world, which in this case represents the past situation. So the watermelon tourmaline harmonizes the masculine and the feminine, the active and the intuitive powers within us. It clears the mind and gives us openness and repose. It strengthens the connection with the higher self, helping to improve our mastery of life. Interesting. And the interpretation of this card in this deck is success, movement, mastering life, perspective, self-development, reward, decisiveness, and perception. May also mean result of efforts and balancing between mind and intuition. The shadow aspects of this card are stalemate, failure, mistake, absent-mindedness, and recklessness. May also mean disregard of information and inspirations. Now let's have a look at the Amazonite for the present situation, or the present moment of the situation in the world. So in case of depression and emotional problems, the Amazonite reawakens joy and makes us aware of our complexity. It opens the heart so that universal love can flow once again, and so helps us express our feelings better. The interpretation of the Amazonite card are trouble, painful insight, isolation, pangs of love, distraction, old wounds, and pain. The shadow aspect are mistake, loss, error, distress, and fear. So it is kind of a negative aspect for the present moment, but it is in these moments of negative experiences that we need to learn from in order to improve our life. And now let's have a look at how the future looks like with Chrysocolla. And from my perspective, the future looks bright. So Chrysocolla has a balancing effect on the mood if there are strong emotions like anger and violent tempers. It teaches us to appreciate feelings like composure, peace, kindness, and tolerance. By promoting our sensibility, it helps strengthen the intuition, since our decisions are usually too logical and rational. The tarot interpretation of this card is initial difficulties, fluctuation, balance, change, embarrassment, and flexibility, and may also mean learning to manage money. The shadow aspect is instability, abandon, message, and lack of character. Feel free to type into the chat if you would like a reading, whether it is for 1, 3, or 4 cards. This has been the past, present, and future situation as a general aspect in the world. So feel free to type into the chat if any of the cards resonated with you. And before ending this episode, the turquoise is the general card for everyone who is watching, and I am going to read it again before ending this session. And I am going to do it right in a few moments while I wait for your messages. If you would like your own card pulled out from the deck to see what the crystals have in store for you now. So the turquoise gives us purity of thought and thus leads us to greater wisdom. It promotes creativity, the power of imagination, and an understanding of nature. Its rich coloring shows us the abundance and beauty of nature, allowing an awareness of success and a joy of living to grow within us. The interpretation of this card is profit, financial success, growth, satisfaction, abundance, circumspection, optimistic outlook, and security. The shadow aspects are danger, fraud, castles in the air, and insecurity. It can also mean looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a blessed evening, everyone.